Hello, Stan Seder. How you doing, you toady, divorcee? Before we get to Face Bloat Stan Seder, Say Their Names, Chicago 2020 edition, and read off all the children that were murdered in Chicago, most of them being black. Wonder why aren't Asians slaughtering Asians in the hood? Stan, do you wonder why? Oh, that's right. They're most of the time they have two parents in the home, not an absentee father, and not a divorce where daddy is living elsewhere because mommy couldn't put up with daddy anymore because daddy is codependent and narcissistic, which is a really bad combination. But before we get to that, I'm going to play a call that I've heard it's an 80-year-old black woman from Houston who called the Rush Limbaugh show, and I'm going to play the audio of that because I think that will dovetail with this very nicely.
While we're on this topic, let's talk to Joyce in Houston, Texas. Joyce, you're on the Rush Limbaugh program. Todd Herman, your guide host. Hi, Joyce. Welcome.
Thank you. You know, I want to talk about the Floyd situation. And I didn't watch the trial because I purposed in my heart that he could not get a fair trial. And I'm not saying that he should have gotten away scot-free. That's not what I'm saying. But there is no way that this man, this policeman, could get a fair trial when you are picking jurors and they award that family $27 million. What is that telling the juror? Then you got your whole city boarded up because if thugs don't get their way, they're going to burn down your city. I don't agree with the jurors, but I can understand their reasoning that if you can't protect your police precinct, you let it be burned down. What is to say that if these people learn that I was a juror, that they won't burn down my house? I could understand that. I don't agree, but I can understand their reasoning. And then in my community, when it became racial, I am so sick and tired of this systemic racism. There are no organized conspiracies to keep blacks down. There are pockets of bigotry, sure. But they are not powerful enough to keep you down if you have some get up and go about yourself. And I hear this constantly. And I live in the most dangerous neighborhood in Houston, the sixth in the nation. And we constantly talk about racism, who is keeping us down. And I contend that, and it's always said that those old rich Republicans are the reason that our communities have turned, good, nice communities in Houston have turned into ghettos. And the old white, rich Republicans are the cause of it. And I get so tired of telling my people the old rich white Republicans is not our problem. We are our problem. And until we face the fact that we are our own worst enemies, nothing is going to change. There are blacks in my community, senior citizens, that have gotten broken into and murdered. You don't even know their name. But you know Floyd all over this nation, all over the world, you know Floyd, and he shouldn't have been killed, okay? But you don't even know these seniors' names. Ask my Congresswoman, Sheila Jackson Lee, when she is up in Washington for getting things ready for illegal aliens to stay here. Ask her, does she know any of these seniors' names in our community? She is our representative. I guarantee you she don't know their names. But I tell you one thing, she sure know about Floyd. And we have got to stop in the black community. I have traveled out of this country several times, and I want to say to the blacks that's listening that you're so angry and you come up with this fake racism and everything. That's not our problem. There's no better place for us. And you're going to sit here and allow people to use you as pawns to mess up what's best for you, because there ain't no better place for us. Like I say, I've been several times. There's no better place for us. And I am tired of you blaming someone else. And really, in our community, one of the main reasons that these young people are getting shot and killed because they didn't have, and especially these young black men, they didn't have no dads in the home. When Obama was in the White House, in my community, they just, we are so blessed we have a black man in the White House. I said, but we need a black man in the Black House. If we had black men in these homes, the policemen, if they had these black men in these homes and put something on their behind when they needed it, not abuse, then the policemen wouldn't have to shoot them when they stop them, because we have taught them to hate the policeman. We teach it from little bitty things. We tell the church, if you're bad, I'm gonna call the policeman. You put that in that baby's mind that the policeman is bad. There are a few bad policemen, but basically the policemen are out there to do a job to protect us. And I get so tired of, they arrest more blacks than they do whites. Well, hell, we do more crime. So what are they going to do? Just let us go? We've got to change.
Joyce, the last thing in the world I want to do right now is to cut in. I
think she hit the nail on the head there, didn't she, Stan? Stan, I'd tell you to go in the hood and teach them how to be fathers and stay married, but you can't do that. So I guess I'll have to be the one. So with that said, let's say their names, Chicago 2020 edition. I'm not going to name off every homicide victim in Chicago because we'd be here longer than Stan's ex-wife can tolerate him when she's forced to meet him whenever and wherever she doesn't want to. And we don't have all that much time, so we're going to read this is just the children, Stan. These are just the children who were murdered in Chicago, a city that has been run into the ground by Democrats so long that even you were young when they started to take over. And it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. So if there were no drug addicts, no fatherless children in Chicago, people who are strung out on drugs and are blaming everyone else for their fatherless children and all their problems, they need your policies. I mean, you don't pay the cost, but you are really compassionate. Nuclear families don't need your policies. So let's run through this. See the link underneath the video. Xavier Quiroz, Garfield Ridge shooting, male 13, Hispanic. I'm not going to name the location on the rest of these. Isaiah Wade, shooting, male 15, black. Lizette Mata, female, shooting, 16, Hispanic. Say her name. Stan, come on. Autistically say her name. LaDon Irvin Jr., shooting, male, 16, black. Antoine Winters, shooting, male, 14, black. Baby Boy Harrison, that's what it says. Shooting, male, 4 years old, black. Daylon Russell, shooting, male, 17, black. Serenity Arrington, stabbing, female, 5, black. Avion Aldridge, shooting, male, 17, black. Omar Alvarado, shooting, male, 15, Hispanic. Say his name, Stan. Arturo Munoz, shooting, male, 17, Hispanic. DeJour Wilson, shooting, female, 8 black. Leleni Edwards, child abuse, female, 3, black. Jalen Jerome Mason, shooting, male, 17, black. I bet if that 3-year-old had been stepped on by a cop, you would be having autistic fits about it for months on the air. But you don't care about Leleni Edwards because her death doesn't do you any good. It's not politically expedient. Michael Colon, or Colon, shooting, male, 16, white. Sebastian Cassiano, shooting, male, 16, white. Erica Blackhawk, stabbing, female, 14, black. Caleb Reed, shooting, male, 17, black. Say his name, Stan. Janari Rick, shooting, male, 9, black. I bet if a cop had killed him, you would care. If you did videos on all these, you wouldn't even have time to be a Twitter quasi-celebutard. Keon Aki Moore, shooting, male, 17, black. Charlie Perez, shooting, male, 17, Hispanic. Terrence Malden, shooting, male, 15, black. Antoine Gaydon, child abuse, male, 1 year old, black. Say his name, Stan. Natalia Wallace, female, 7, black. How many of these are fatherless children, and how many of them were killed by fatherless children, you wonder? Stan? A lot of black on black in Chicago and Illinois, especially Chicago. Bernardo, Jones Jr., shooting, male, 14, black. Darion Malik Umba Ortiz, shooting, male, 16, black. Antoine Douglas, shooting, male, 17, black. Sincere Gaston, or Gaston, I'm assuming it's Gaston, shooting, male, 1 year old, black. Say his name, fat boy. Lena Nunez, shooting, female, 10, American Indian. Michael Ike, shooting, male, 15, black. Charles Riley, shooting, male, 16, black. And you know what? Looking at Chicago's homicide stats, it's about 6 districts in the city where the vast majority of this is happening. Most of Chicago is not a war zone. I'm not sure I'd want to live. I'm glad I don't live in Chicago, period. But there's 6 districts where it's really bad, and I'm sure there's a handful of neighborhoods in those 6 districts which are basically no-go zones. And I forgot where I was at. Charles Riley, shooting, male, 16, black. Jason Francis, shooting, male, 17, black. Mackay James, shooting, male, 3, black. Say his name, Stan. Amaria Jones, shooting, female, 13, black. Sincere Joyner, shooting, male, 17, black. Jeremiah James, shooting, male, 15, black. How many of these people weren't even in high school if they were still in school? Joseph Monge, stabbing, male, 16, white. John Barba, shooting, male, 16, Hispanic. Darnell Fisher, shooting, male, 16, black. Say his name, Stan. Come on, fat boy, let's hear it. Rodrigo Rangel, shooting, male, 16, Hispanic. Damian Duran, shooting, male, 16, white. Juan Martinez, shooting, male, 17, Hispanic. Demetrius Hardy, shooting, male, 15, black. Darius Lane, shooting, male, 16, black. Antaeus J. Miller Jr., shooting, male, 17, black. Esteban Luvianos, shooting, male, 15, white. Damian Rogers, shooting, male, 17, black. David Phillips, shooting, male, 17, unknown. Unknown ethnic background for him. Marlon Gaines, shooting, male, 15, black. Kamari Crawford, shooting, female, 17, black. Rajon Green, shooting, male, 17, black. Michael Portis, shooting, male, 17, black. Josu Juarez, child abuse, male, 9, Hispanic. Say his name. Amir Newell, assault, male, 7, black. John Tavius Newell. Both these people died at the same time on the same day. Amir Newell, assault, male, 7, black. And John Tavius Newell, fall from height, male, 2, black. Say their names, Stan. Say their names, fat boy. Only if they're politically expedient, sorry. If it's not politically expedient, don't say their name. But if he's a drug addict who acted out for 16 minutes and ended up dying in police custody, you can say his name. But a little 2-year-old that never had a chance to do anything, his death is not politically expedient. Don't say his name.